Hey guys, happy Friday. Linton here from Scope Markets. I thought let's just have a quick look and see what gold is doing. So everybody knows the market moves in waves, right? Gold on the bigger time frame, we've seen this big uptrend over here, and then we've seen this consolidation. This consolidation, and we are now looking at the breakout of that consolidation. So let's dive in a little deeper and see where our targets are and what we're looking at. The first thing I'm going to do is just pop some trend lines on here. So this would have been what I was watching very, very closely. And another trend line at the bottom here, right? So this I was watching very, very, very closely. Okay. So with gold, what we saw with this consolidation is we saw this 1, 2, and then we saw a third wave, but it didn't quite form something here that interested me, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, it didn't quite get down to this trend area that I was looking at. And secondly, it was too close to this bottom. I'd prefer to see an actual break and a close below that bottom to confirm that, that third wave could be complete. Okay. So when we saw this little push up above the trend over here, I wasn't too concerned about it yet, especially because there weren't any candle closes above that. Um, just make sure I got that exactly in the right place. Yep. And then we saw this breakout over here. And this one, although it closed above the trend line, the candles closed above, we didn't see a break above this high. So it was actually still making a lower high, which means that the downtrend was actually still intact. And I didn't trade that. In fact, I got into a little short over here, expecting to get down to this trend, which happened. And at this point here, I watched price very, very carefully. We saw the pushback, and on a lower time frame, there was a little consolidation, which helped me get into this trade to the upside. I did, however, take profit at this level. And the reason for that was because of the uncertainty in the market at the moment. We did, however, have the 1, 2, and the third wave had completed. But at this point, I thought it was possible that we were going to get a fourth and a fifth before the breakout. Now, that didn't happen. Okay. So we've seen the breakout now. We've seen a higher high over here than these two highs, which I do like, which means that the possible reversal is in place. And we could now start looking for the third impulse to the upside. So 1, 2, 3, if that makes sense. Okay. So that would be our three waves on the bigger time frame for gold. Okay. What I want to do now is I'm going to say, okay, let's agree that it's broken out of the structure here. We've missed this run to the upside. There wasn't a trade on there. But how do we now get into this trade? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop another trend line on here, just on that high there. Okay. Now I'm expecting to see price to come back and test this kind of level over here before we get a run to the upside. Okay, before we get this impulse to the upside. But what is the target of that impulse going to be? Okay, firstly, we need to know what our bigger time frame target is. So I'm going to put my arrow on this impulse. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to put it on the breakout. The breakout level was over there. Okay, with the bottom of the arrow on the bottom of the structure over here. Okay, so that gives me a target of around about, let's call it the 2,100 mark, pretty close to it. Okay, so that's my overall target to the upside. Okay, I'm just going to remove this arrow here so it's not in the way. How do we trade this? I'm going to go down to a smaller time frame quickly. So let's have a look at the 4-hour. We've seen a bit of an uptrend on the 4-hour now, and we want to know, how do we get back into this long, especially the guys that have missed it. Okay, so I'm going to pop another trend line on here on this uptrend that is formed on the 4-hour. Now, this could take a couple of days to pan out. Might not happen immediately. It might take place next week, maybe even the week after that. But let's say next week is the most likely option. Okay, so what I'm expecting to see is price to move around here a little bit, maybe come down, test that level, break back up. But once it breaks through this level, through this trend, and it now says, okay, there's a possibility of the move to the downside for that retest. Okay, what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for, on maybe like a 1 hour or 15 minute time frame, I'm going to be looking for price to close below there to give me another little consolidation, and then a break of that consolidation. That's where I'm going to enter a sell position. Yes, I know it's against the trend, but we're looking at a smaller time frame. Okay. So where am I looking at taking profit on that? Well, if I go back to the daily, I'm looking for a retest around about this area over here. So I'm going to get into, let's actually go down to the 1 hour. I'm going to get into this trade on the break of that consolidation. I'm going to take profit around about this level over here. And then I'm going to be watching price very carefully. Let's go back to the 4 hour. Okay. So I'm going to trade from there down to there with my stop above these levels here, actually above this consolidation. And then when price gets down to that level, I'm going to be watching it very carefully. I want to see a rejection of that level. So price moving back up. Then I want to see a smaller consolidation again, and a break of that consolidation gets me into the bigger trade to the upside. Okay. That gets me into the bigger trade to the upside. So, oopsie, let me do that. So once this forms, I'm going to trade that little short, and then I'm looking at the break of a smaller consolidation rejection of that support area. And then I'm going to be looking to trade this all the way up to there. Okay, stops below this consolidation area with a TP up here. That's a really nice risk to reward. Gold looks like a good setup to me. I'm looking forward to seeing this pan out this way. Remember, it's not a guarantee, so do apply your own strategies and make sure that that you stick to your risk management. But I hope that gives you a clearer understanding of what I'm looking at on gold and what the possibilities are. Have a fantastic Friday further. Cheers, guys.